Hey guys, I was doing the devotional today and just putting some stuff together, and I really wanted to keep on the theme of the story of our lives and what our life story looks like. And so the verse I had for today is 2 Timothy 1:7. And I have it here in NLT. For God has not given us a spirit of fear and timidity, but of power, love, and self-discipline. And fear keeps people frozen. You know, if you've ever seen the movie Frozen, what I think we need to do with the fear is let it go, let it go. If you haven't seen the movie, you don't know what I'm talking about. But I've seen the movie a lot because I have two little girls at home. But it keeps people frozen from the things that God has for them. And that's what fear does. You know, it keeps us stuck from moving forward or maybe going after an opportunity that God has even provided for us. But it keeps us living this lame story and just going through kind of the mundane because we're not capable of letting it go and just going for this things that God has for us. And like the verse said, you know, fear isn't from God. God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and discipline. And if we live by fear, then we'll miss out on so much that God has for us. So whatever we fear, we need to learn that we have to trust God with those fears. And we have to give it over to Him completely. And the thing that we fear, we need to face head on. A lot of times people's biggest fears are the things that they really need to go after the most instead of just going after the things we're strong at. You know, what are the things that you fear the most? Those are probably the things that are holding you back from really achieving all that God has for you, because the devil wants to attack through our weaknesses as well. So what is it for you? What do you fear most? Give it to God. Face it. Go after those things. You know, be overcomers. Those who overcome their fears will live out a story worth living and worth telling. You know, I think a lot of times with those fears also give us like a mental block. You know, I remember hearing a story years ago about how they put a huge chain around, you get a new elephant in the circus, and they put a huge chain around its foot and stake that chain down. And the elephant realizes that it can only go in a circle, you know, where the chain's holding him. And then they bring a chain down and they make it just a rope. And then they take the rope and they bring it down to where basically they don't even need a chain anymore. It comes into the middle of the circus tent and that elephant just goes around and around and around. There's nothing holding it back. It has so much potential. It has so much power, but in its mind, it's blocked out. And it doesn't even need the chain. There's no chain on it, but it only thinks it can go in that little circle because its mind is being held back. So we need to make sure that fear doesn't creep in and put bondage and strongholds on our mind, keeping us from all that God has for us. God has an amazing and powerful story. He wants you to live and walk it out. Be there. Do it. Run for Him.